for this 24-hour economy policy. The minister tells us
the Minister of Finance made the unprecedented announcement of a gargantuan sum of money for assemblymen. I saw the gleeful smile on his face.
This Azam budget, we cannot allow it to get onto the shelves for Ghanaians to think that there is any hope, Mr. Speaker. There is going to be comment to expose them. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Okay. It seems like the NDC, led by John Dramani Mahama, as one person moyane NPP for ye ni mugwa se ba atamfu nyanya no baga waya kase no baga waya no baga waya honorable Afenyo Markins after such a say honorable to forcing added the 2025 annual budget in Tuja. You know, this budget it features so many things. It features some of the things that we Ghanaians we wanted to hear, something like the no fee stress or policy, the Women's Development Bank. Then third thing, I say here the free education. The next thing I know here the nursing training and then the teacher training allowances. You know, these were some of the basic things that we wanted to hear from the new government. Now the new government so I'm going to say oh man and was hey John Mahama, Kwame Dramani Mahama, what the assemblable. You know, about Afenyo Markins, then I know to say, and some can say, in fact, one of the most hopeless, non-fucker, I don't know even what to say. According to Anamo, budget and that's when you say that. It's more toward the Asempana, the 24-hour economy. You are too forcing, you fail to present the 24-hour economy to the Parliament House. Honorable, but when the honorable minister was speaking, okay, I said the 24-hour economy news, so omudia no policies near there about the 2 anymore. And father, you know what? Father, so no one I with this. Or so what to forcing? You people fail to address the 24-hour economy issue. That is why your budget is hopeless. There is no hope in your budget. Number 2, you people you are chronicle liars. But before I say honorable Beckers and say honorable Mahama Yarigan so didn't send me to jail. What's it here? In fact, on Mahama Yariga, somewhere same could I say kurada. Because of say a budgeter which is going to include or future the assemblymen or munis. So right now as I'm talking to you, Winima from next year assemblyman for forms, then say Sikania to say who Mahama the allowances are called to assemblyman from Kamudi and Mutu, and then also Mesika crib. But John Dramani Mahama has come and then he has taken the money to its highest level. Now as I'm talking to you, Sikaya they bought district Biaho MF Brano, John Dramani Mahama to say Ken. Now assemblyman for 100 million Ghana cedis. I was saying, hey, next year metal forms. Next year, he be a general election for assemblyman, metal forms, because we want to make this kind of life. It's you, Mahama, I say, because what for your market now, you're assemblyman. Into an assemblyman for the abbey. Now, come on, what moves a what for your market? What feeling rough? Hey, Yankee Mahama Yareka. Now, you are some godfather, Ekado sauce. Hey, don't go there. This whole thing is what? Hopeless.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader and I share something in common. We were both assemblymen. And when the Minister of Finance made the unprecedented announcement of a gargantuan sum of money for assemblymen, I saw the gleeful smile on his face. Unfortunately, it will not apply to ex-assemblymen. Mr. Speaker, this clearly is a budget of a government and a party that keeps its promises. almost every promise that was made by John Dramani Mahama is being fulfilled in less than 120 days. This budget is a budget for Makola women. This budget is a budget for assemblymen. This budget is a budget for girls. This budget, sanitary pads, students, girls, students, sanitary pads, the sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it seems to me that the men on this side have started using sanitary pads. Because the sanitary pad is for the female students. That's why I said girls. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget for school children. They will now get the set of textbooks that they need to study. And peace of mind. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget that delivers solid reforms. And this is a budget that is moving our growth from Galamsey growth to real growth. Mr. Speaker, by the time we finish implementing this budget, and by the time we finish implementing the three that will come after this one, Osunu Baya Nkitikiti. Osunu Baya Nkitikiti. Osunu Nkitikiti. To wait, Mr. Speaker.
So that's the majority leader, Mahama Yarega. By area, and some now about Afenyo Markins, the two Jano, Abusha, yet I say, because for you to be in opposition, you can't like follow what your other side and also what your opponent will say. You know, but honorable, we know it's deep within honorable's heart when he say in some course, you know, these are some of the real issues, I say, Dr. Claßh are so forcing it. So to those of you who are saying it's honorable for your market to them, honorable the oye and one, because there is no way say on no opposition ever the rainy. It is normal. In the as a man, honorable case, honorable Afenyo Markins edituja.
Mr. Speaker, this afternoon we have been presented with part 2 of the lamentation series. The part 1, Mr. Speaker, the part 1 was Mahamanomics. The part 2 is Forcenomics. And it's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that under the economy that they complain about, the growth was 5.7%. And under the research economy, the growth is rather going down. You are projecting a 4-point-something growth. That is what you are doing. Mr. Speaker, the economy that they complain about left us with 4 months of import cover, and they are projecting under reset 3 months. Mr. Speaker, these are the very people who managed the economy up to some IPP debts. Today, they are telling us that they are coming to renegotiate the very disaster they left us. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are not debating today. We are giving an indication.
Honorable Minority Leader, please be guided by Order 91.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Very, very guided by that. Mr. Speaker, I may read Order 91.
Your statement was that you are not debating today.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, we are not making comment on it. We are not going to make comment today. 91, Mr. Speaker, when he makes a statement, we are supposed to comment on it.
Yes.
Yes, so I'm saying that we are not going to engineer the comment today. Because, well, Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. We are ready, but we think they are not ready.
Minority
so I'm
Leader.
only going to give an indication. Mr. Speaker, let the Minority Leader enjoy his bona fides for this minute. Just relax, Mr. Speaker.
I only want to draw your attention to the fact that you can only make comments.
Very well.
And the comments, not more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in commenting on this statement by the Finance Minister, it is clear to all of us in this chamber that today they decided to populate this chamber Mr. Speaker, they populated this chamber with their members only to come.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister for Finance did not talk about the population of the chamber. So that is not part of the statement of the Minister. Please.
Mr. Speaker, I noticed that when the Finance Minister came to present his statement, for the first time after the inauguration, the swearing in, the majority side was heavily populated. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed what we can best describe as an Azan budget. Mr. Speaker, they are on much talked about for 24-hour economy. The president came here, they said it was all ready. The finance minister comes here, and again, the 24-hour economy policy is not included in his budget statement. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the youth of this country have been waiting for this 24-hour economy policy. The minister tells us the policy will be brought later. Hey, Ato, the policy will be brought later. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that all the jobs they promised the youth of this country was merely an Azam promise. Mr. Speaker, there is no inspiration from this budget. There is no hope in this budget. The repetition of the social intervention programs, Mr. Speaker, and then the minister complained that some contracts at the road sector had no commencement certificate. Go to the Chain Homes Road. There is a road construction on the Chain Homes. There is a new road being constructed to the 10 rooms with a new runabout. There is no commencement. We did a search. There is no commencement. There is no PP approval. You are doing, Mr. Speaker, you have started construction
minority leader. Honorable minority leader. Honorable minority leader. Honorable minority leader. Please, comments. I have given you a privilege. Don't abuse it.
Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude my comments by saying that whereas the Minister of Finance told us that there will be heavy sanctions against all those who go contrary to the PFM Act, under his own administration, the Chain Homes Road is being constructed now. A new runabout is being constructed. Meanwhile, there is no commencement certificate. Meanwhile, there is no PP approval. Mr. Speaker, the sanctions must start with his own ministers. Mr. Speaker, we are ready for our comments. We know they are not ready, but if the minister is going to stay, Mr. Speaker, let us start the comments on this budget statement here and now, because this Azam budget, we cannot allow it to get onto the shelves for Ghanaians to think that there is any hope. Mr. Speaker, there is going to be comment to expose them. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's the majority and the minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Markins, and somebody to the Parliament House of Ghana. You know, this is the budget that, as I'm talking to you, everybody was curious. Hey, I see the school, the one school. Everybody wanted to hear from this budget. I had an ABJ show. Mr. Kai, so subscribe. I think so. We are sharing link in for the next thing is you do well to leave a comment for me.